Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, the show about anything and everything because it's our show. I'm here with Juan.
Hey.
Hey, still sad? 8 seasons, still sad. All right. Well, Juan, I'm sorry you're still sad. But hey, I'm here with Jay. He's always in a good mood. Jay, you here? Still have a shitty Jay impression, Juan. Still shitty.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Jay. Look at that, man. A ray of sunshine. Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Which is so opposite of what he really is like.
If you say so. And I'm Sean, and this is our theme music. Still nothing. Hey everybody, welcome back to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, Season 8, Episode 1.
And we're back. Welcome,
folks. Penis. You take the dick out of your ear, and you'll be able to hear just fine.
Get started so you guys can start blowing fucking Chris Rock.
Welcome back, gentlemen. It is good to hear you guys' voices. We've only been not doing this for like a couple weeks, so I know we had a couple review shows ahead of this. But we're back. We're back, everybody. Welcome to Season 8. Welcome to Season 8.
I missed you, Sean.
Oh, well, I missed you too, Jay. Juan, fuck you.
I missed you too, Juan.
Oh.
I wish I could say the same exact thing about you too.
It's not that I didn't miss you, Juan. It's that I feel like I didn't get away from you.
No, you didn't. Oh, you did.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, welcome back, gentlemen. Good to have you back. I have 2 news stories to talk to you guys about, and I don't know how closely you guys follow the Instagram or Reddit, but the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is Marcus Houston. You guys know who that is?
No.
Wasn't he on Sister Sister?
He was Roger on Sister Sister. That's right. Go home, Roger. That's it.
Go home, Roger.
Yeah, and then he had that short stint in like season 2 or 3 where he changed his hair and the sisters wanted to fuck him, and then by the end of the episode, they don't want to fuck him anymore.
What? He was the WB's answer to Urkel.
He was. I guess he was. I mean, yeah, were they on at the same time? I mean, Family Matters and Sister Sister.
I feel like they were.
I don't remember, but you could be right. You could be right.
They were.
But the reason why I bring it up is because he was in the news recently in a very, very short stint, and it wasn't very blown up. But he was in the news because he posted an Instagram pic with his wife and his daughter and himself, and it was a very wholesome photo until the internet does what it does and puts it in a little perspective. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Marcus Houston is 41. His wife is 22, and they've been married for 3 years, but they've been together for 10.
God damn.
So let's put some math on that one. Let's put some math on that.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I know. Marcus Houston is 41, right? Roger, Sister, go home. His wife is 22, right? They've been married for 3 years, but they've been together for 10.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And there's a lot to put together here. Now, if you dig into the story a little more, you'll find out that his wife actually went missing as a child and then resurfaced at the age of 18 with Marcus. And then they got married shortly after when she was 19. And then they have a child. It looks like 2 or 3 here. Again, a very wholesome photo. Maybe they're out to dinner or whatever. But then, as you peel this back a little bit, there's a whole lot going on. So first of all, let me ask, did you guys even know this was a thing?
No.
Yeah, it runs a little bit bigger than this. So, and maybe it could just be a black media thing. I don't know. But in the early mid 2000s, after the group B2K had broken up, you guys know who B2K is?
Boys to Men?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know it was a boy band, but
yeah.
Is that the kids that I would see on my Burger King Happy Meal?
All right, so B2K is another boy band, and they were actually formed as a portion of Marcus Houston and his cousin or like family relative Chris Stokes, who have both been accused of basically raping those kids, and not just those kids, but like also people in their camp. So any artists coming out of that music group have all allegedly either claimed to have been fucked by Marcus Houston or Chris Stokes. Like it is a huge thing. It's only not blown over like R. Kelly because there hasn't been like a documentary or something, but it's been going on for years. 10 years ago, one of the kids from B2K came out and made direct accusations, and there's a phone call recorded between him and Chris Stokes where he says, "I'm not like that anymore," and Chris Stokes was his producer, essentially like their what do you call that? Like their guardian while they're on the road. So there's some validity to this story, and obviously a lot of it has been silenced by their media managers. But Roger may be a pedophile, or is. I don't know the whole story behind it. I don't know the truth of it. He hasn't come out and said anything about it. Obviously, he's just staying very quiet because then it just roars up and it dies. But no one is fucking safe. No one is safe.
I mean, it's just kind of it's shocking, Like,
yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know how to process it, really.
And again, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the world of like that side of R&B entertainment, but like Marcus Houston's a pretty big deal, like among the Black community. B2K is a big deal. Omarion's a bigger deal right now because he's on some VH1 show with other members of the group where they have a lot of issues. And so like these kind of things come up, and Omarion even stated in one interview, like, yeah, I think something happened. Although he hasn't said like what he knows about it, keeping his nose clean.
Do you think he might have some mental issues, like, because I mean, they've been together for 10 years. He met her when he was 31 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she was 12.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's the statute of limitations on this shit? Like at some point, like
legally, I don't know. I don't know, right? But morally, I mean, does the stain ever come off, right?
So let's put it this way. I know someone whose wife is 10 years younger than he is.
Okay.
They started dating when she was 25, so that would have put him at 35. But if you start like retroing,
yeah,
because she likes to point out the fact that she wasn't even born when he started high school.
I mean, I think there's a difference between meeting someone in their, like, if you're an older person and you meet someone that's like significantly younger, but they're like in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
Like it's different than meeting someone and they're not even a teenager yet.
Yeah.
So if Roger would have met his wife and married her 3 years ago, no issue because she was of age.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think there's always a question of it, but yeah, I don't think there's an issue.
It feels like he was grooming her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. It's definitely very disturbing, and it's just.
To answer your question, Juan, I think if you went to a kid's party and were trying to pick up like the kids there, that's a fucking problem. Okay. If you went to the restaurant, you met this person and they were 10 years younger than you, but they're in their mid-20s and I don't think that's a problem. I think the problem comes when like you're fucking trolling kids parties looking for kids. That's the fucking problem, right?
You're a parent.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
In the future, your daughter's 18 and she wants to shack up with a 40-year-old.
Then she's 18 and she can make her own decisions, and I'll give her as much guidance and advice as I possibly can. But if that 40-year-old comes to her fucking 15-year-old, her 15 party and start, I'm sorry. First of all, why the fuck is he even there? I'm just saying, I think there's a very clear line, and I think like the age of consent has a lot to do with it. But again, Jay said the word grooming, right? I think he was grooming this girl since the age of 12 to put her in this situation. And I think that Marcus Houston was groomed by Chris Stokes to do the exact same, because he did the exact same thing to him, right? So
do you think this girl is brainwashed?
Probably. But I mean, you know what? I don't know. They could be fucking happy. They could be happy. They could be happy. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I know she didn't have the mental capacity at age 12 to comprehend that's.
Well, he fucking knows that. So, and kids are impressionable. You two also know. But anyway, they're probably happy. But you want to know who isn't happy right now? You want to know who isn't happy? Justin Roiland. You know who that is, Juan?
No. Oh man,
Justin Roiland. Since we're on grooming and talk. Justin Roiland is the voice of Rick and Morty on the show Rick and Morty.
Did he get fired? No,
he got fired. That he co-produced with and created with Dan Harmon, who you may recognize that name from other projects he's done, like Community. I think it's one of the biggest ones. But he's He's a very well-known writer.
What did he get fired for? I know I read.
Sean was about to get to that.
I sent you this article a while back, right?
I sent you this article some time ago, and we're just now talking about it. But Justin Roiland was basically outed for sending underage people sexually explicit text and basically being very rude to them to minors and via via text. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible.
Who does he play on Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty.
He is Rick and Morty on Rick and Morty. He's the voice of the two main characters of that show.
Was the voice, right?
Yeah, he was the voice of the two main characters. But he also, I mean, if you recognize his voice from lots of different things, he just came out with a video game from his production studio called Life is Strange, or Weird, something. I can't remember what the hell it's called. But he's also the voice of Lemon Grab on Adventure Time. So the guy has worked in Hollywood, and
shit that I don't watch.
It's okay. Adventure Time's great, and Rick and Morty is also great, and you're just not great. But anyway, yeah, and so, but the story kind of rolled up because he was already kind of being held up for domestic violence charges, right? So like he was already in the spotlight, and then lo and behold, someone dug up some more stuff. I don't know, cancel culture of Twitter or Reddit, whoever the fuck it is, finds these text messages to these minors where he is, I mean, basically trying to say, hey, like, what are you into? And it's cool, I'm into that too. Can we meet up? Like,
was one of his pickup lines go like, hey, I'm Rick and Morty?
I don't know. I sent you a link from Reddit some time ago, but yeah, what is like, hey, it's me, the real guy from from Rick and Morty. Like he is absolutely using his star power and his celebrity to
that is so fucking filthy.
Yeah.
How did
something like this happen?
Yeah, how did they get in touch with him? Like, did they go to a con and sign and then?
Well, some of these people they found him. They find him on like Discord or whatever like social he's on.
What's Discord?
Discord is a newer version of like of Twitch or like the streaming services where people can kind of get together with communities. They're basically like new age forums.
So these kids slide into his DMs.
Yeah, or he slides in the kids' DMs. Like they may mention something in the chat, and he's like, "Oh, you don't say." And he, he'll text them. I can't blow this photo up right now, but essentially, Justin Roiland here, he is just, it's just despicable and dirty. And apparently the show will go on. They'll find there's lots of people. If you go on, if you're on TikTok, there's lots of people who are doing impressions of Rick and Morty because they love the show that much. So I get the feeling that they will find someone to replace his voice.
He's a creator of the show too?
One of the creators with Dan Harmon.
So that means he's still going to get money afterwards?
Probably, but they signed a contract for like 70 episodes 3 years ago. And I think they're only 20 episodes into that, So they still got a contract to fulfill.
Yeah, so he's going to make money no matter what.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean, that's how it works.
I'm assuming he's going to get jail time for his shit, or is this...
He will more than likely get jail time for the domestic violence charges.
How violent was his...
I think he was in jail. I can't remember exactly because it's been some time. But I mean, he has lots of stuff like, but there isn't a big council movement on Justin Roiland because he's not, he's not that big of a celebrity, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's a well-known voice actor, but
he's not Will Smith,
No.
Well, Will Smith isn't really canceled anymore.
Well, he was never canceled to begin with.
He just laid down for close to a year, man.
He had Emancipation come out.
Yeah, was he broke that entire time? I don't fucking think so.
Even if he didn't have shit come out or do anything, he wouldn't have been broke. We all know he was fucking...
Yes. Okay, my point exactly. So,
but the passion he had of acting, he couldn't do it.
But I bring those two articles up because they are two articles that are very inflammatory. I would say that both of these people belong on the cancel bus, right? There should be movements and hashtags and all kinds of shit going on. And there was probably for a week or a day or whatever, but it would seem that the world in and of itself, the internet, at least the side that I am privy to, is selectively outraged by this or only mildly outraged by it.
You know what I think it is? I think cancel culture is like the Doug from Up, the dog. they see a squirrel and they're like squirrel, and then they lose sight of it, and then they focus on something else until another squirrel goes by, and then they get distracted.
And I think it depends on the squirrel. I think it depends on the squirrel.
No, because they go hardcore on shit, and then it dies down, and then they forget about it until somebody goes, "Hey, weren't we mad at Dave Chappelle? Oh yeah, let's go cancel him again."
Well, and that's kind of my point. But, I say that to say Chris Rock just had a live TV special, a live television special on Netflix. Is that the equivalent of pay-per-view? Jay, would you say that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Pay-per-view. How old are you, son?
Old enough to know that if you look at the right channel on the wrong station, you can get a weird image of porn.
I think I saw left boob.
But yeah, he just had a live special that aired live on Netflix called Selective Outrage. And I didn't look at
Rick and Morty?
No,
Chris Rock. Idiot.
Are you listening to me at all? But yeah, he just came out with a new Netflix special, which is why we're here. If I can say his, Jay said it best, which is his Netflix special, I think recapped our last year's topics very, very well.
It did.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of the things that he talked about, and all of it. He did a lot more. It was way funnier than us. So I guess my first question is: have we all seen the Netflix special?
Yes.
Did you?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it twice and jerked off to it like you guys have. But yes, I did.
Did you guys watch it live or did you watch it afterwards?
I watched it afterwards.
Wait, live?
Yes, it was live. It was live. Like you couldn't watch it before or after the certain time. Like the event had to happen.
Ah. No, I watched it today.
Good for you. Good for you. The reason why I ask is because I watched it live and then I watched it again because I wanted to see specifically if they were going to edit anything out. Like if something had happened and they're like, oh, that was pretty cringy, but so I'm still with him. But so they edited it out later for either for time or for whatever because like that
I don't think they did they?
No, they didn't. I thought at some point that they did, but they didn't. I just wasn't listening because I was listening to it while doing other stuff.
Because he fucked up one joke, and that makes sense now. Why it didn't, like when I heard it today, I'm like, wait, he just admitted that he fucked up the joke.
Yeah,
and then I go, oh, was that part of the joke? But now it makes sense. Like he truly fucked up the joke, and it was just because it was live and it was left as is.
I honestly love that.
He fucked up the joke
well, yeah, he admitted to it, and then he went back and he did the joke all over again.
It was great. It was probably one of my favorite things about the special was that it was because it happened and it was real and it was like I don't know if he had been drinking because normally comedians come out. Especially for a show like this, they're like in all leather and shit, and they got a drink on stage and they probably been drinking a little bit before they came out, And I don't know what
Chris Rock said it. If you're a pharmacist, you don't have to pay for one of his shows ever again.
Well, also, I think the topic that he was talking about at the time, he was very passionate about it, and he wanted to get everything out perfectly. And then when you try to do that, you tend to rush, and then you kind of fuck up some of the wording.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
No.
And which joke was this specifically, Jay? Do you happen to remember?
The Will Smith joke where he's talking about
concussion.
Concussion, but he mentioned emancipation, and then halfway through the joke, he's like, the only thing I fucked up the joke, and then he starts off he's like concussion. He starts it off again and replacing emancipation with concussion.
So. Well, obviously, if you haven't seen the special, there's going to be spoilers. We're going to be kind of talking through the whole thing.
It's not a review show. Fuck it.
It's not a review, but go watch the special. I thought it was really good, especially for it to be a live event. So let me ask: did you guys think it was good? Think it was bad? Like, were you with them the whole time? Did he lose you at some points?
I thought it was great.
I liked it,
but I'm also a Chris Rock fan, so I mean, I'm kind of biased. Like,
no, same here, Jay. I was before we started recording. I told you I listened to this twice. Like I watched it live. I listened to it the second time, and then I went and watched parts of Tambourine because they had an uncut version on Netflix. And then I listened to parts of Bigger and Blacker because I was just trying to gauge like Chris's vibe and like his approach because. I don't know about you guys, but he seemed like he was like on the attack, like, from the beginning of his special. He gets on stage, he's like walking back and forth, and he does that.
Yeah.
But usually a little more metered, a little more measured. I feel like he was like out to like shock and stab people, and
well, like, how long has it been since his last special?
I think that one was 2019.
Yeah, I think so.
So how much of it do you think was I have shit to get out versus it's been a while since I've done a special, and it's been a while since I've done a special and it's fucking live?
Well, I mean, since 2021, he's had time to kind of like construct something,
Yeah, but it's different constructing and actually putting it to the test and especially in a live format, isn't it?
I mean, he's probably been performing as soon as you were able to perform live.
Okay, but when it's fucking Chris Rock, so he's probably done huge fucking venues, not like fucking rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I'm trying to think. If I was in his shoes, yes, I'm already an established comedian. I know I'm funny, but this is a large venue. It's live, so that adds even more millions of viewers. Plus, because it's live and probably not going to be edited, it's still going to add even more because people are going to be able to watch it at their demand on Netflix.
I mean, what is your question?
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you're missing that. Like, this is not his first time doing a live show. Like, in order to get the shows on tape, they have to be live in the first place. And every comedian practices their material and cuts it together. And I know you know this, and I know Jay knows this. So this may not have been the first time that some of those jokes have ever been told. This may be the first time that I've heard them because I didn't go to any of the shows. We know that he was on stage with Dave Chappelle, like right when he got attacked. We know that he was there. So I'm sure he did some time there. So again, unless you're like you're traveling with Chris Rock, I'm sure some of these jokes aren't new. I think, like, to your point, Jay, I think he was very passionate about that piece and kind of like screwed it up because he was like kind of towards the end and it was kind of like winding back up to wind down. But I mean, again, I feel like his approach was very bigger and blackerish. Like he was like out there kind of pointing guns at people, pointing jokes at people. And he was being a little dodgy, in my personal opinion, about like the trans stuff and the gay stuff, and like and he talked about it, he attacked it, but he was very much like, but not me, like everybody else, like and he even points a finger at his brother at one point. Do you guys feel like that?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to unpack. Like material wise, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and a lot of the stuff it's kind of stuff that's been going on in the world in the last like couple of years. But like he talked about cancel culture, like he opened with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very fucking strong opener. I honestly, out of the entire show, I related the most with that one, especially when he's talking about his friend, fucking, I can't remember the name, Roger, where he's like, Fred, like, hey, how do you like that? How do you like your new job? Oh, I feel it's a safe environment, this and this and that. It's safe. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's me. You killed the motherfucker. You just got out of prison. And you're talking about this is a safe environment. Like, this is, I felt like it resonated, especially when he said, when I was working, you had to work hard when you wanted a motherfucker's job. Now you just have to sit back and wait until they say something stupid for them to get canned. And I'm like, that is today's culture.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Juan, because it makes me feel like the entire special was a woke trap. He leads his special with, oh, you got to be careful of the woke trap, because like you said, like you used to have to work hard, and now you just wait for someone to say something stupid, and you go, hey man, that guy said a thing, and now
I'm triggered.
Yeah, I'm triggered, and that's it, And I think that he was making a very scathing commentary on the woke words you need to say in order to keep your workplace in good order, right? It needs to be a safe place, and your team members need to feel seen, and they need to feel heard in order for your workplace to be seen as one that is thriving in a good environment. So I feel like, I think he's saying, if any, like most of these things that have those words are a fucking lie, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think mental health is it's real. You have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that cancel culture has created this environment that if people don't like you, don't like what you stand or just simply don't care and want to take the easy way out. They wait for you to fuck up and say the most, not even the most, but the smallest thing, and it triggers them, and they try to push you out.
I mean, people can say things and then you can take it out of context and still get someone in trouble, you know?
It's true.
And, yeah.
And we just talked
remember,
about it. Go ahead.
Harassment may not be directed to you, and you can still feel harassed.
Yeah, and remember, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 4, I don't know, but we just talked about how, oh my God, I can't think of her name. Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears, right, were doing skits with some kids, and they got misconstrued, and like they both, right. So it just needs the accusation. I was talking about this with my wife, where Amber Heard didn't even mention Johnny Depp's name, right? She wrote an article that alluded to, and that was it. Like they started pulling shit for him left and right, because who else could it fucking be?
So my question is, let's say this special came out and we were still working at the same place. We were light employees. Sean, Jay, and I were standing by the water cooler discussing this shit. And we go, I really loved when he said the fact, I had parents that taught me never fight in front of white people. And we said that in the workplace. How many people do you think would be triggered by that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. But just so you know, that would be protected and concerted activity, because more than more than 2 people joined in. But it would be considered a work function, even if we were outside of work, because there's more than 2 employees.
But I'm beginning to wonder, like, how many people could get in trouble by discussing this fucking special in the workplace.
It's funny because he says you can't tell these jokes at work, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So so again, we're kind of harking on the first the bit of the beginning of the special, but
you guys? Sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
What did you guys think of the story of his daughter, man? I
thought it was great.
Yeah.
It was one of the more personal pieces that he had.
I think it's one of the things that he's known for, because he does tell like those like personal stories like that. But I think this one was personal. It felt like a humble brag. It was like, yeah, I'm fucking rich and my kids are spoiled.
Yeah,
but I need to teach those motherfuckers a lesson, and here's how I'm gonna do it. So I thought it was great.
I like the fact he's like, I don't want them to be near the hood. In fact, they wouldn't survive in the hood and everything. And I like the fact that he got certain rage that his daughter was like smiling, like, I'm going to be back in school in a couple days. And he drove his ass down to school and made sure that she didn't go back. And I don't know, that felt like I could connect with, aside from the whole his views on cancel culture and society and shit like that, but the whole making sure your kids don't take shit for granted. I mean, I'm not a millionaire like he is, but I really like that story. But it also made me wonder, did he really not tell his ex-wife and his daughter, and they're just finding out by watching the Netflix special?
I doubt it. I think at some point he told his daughter and his wife what had happened, and then he said that just to be funny on the special, because it is a funny thing to say.
It is, it is. Unless he is divorced, so who knows? maybe he's just like, fuck it, let it all out on Netflix. It could be my last show.
Especially with the last time I argued with my wife about a lawyer, was the divorce attorney.
Yeah, but I think you bring up another good point, Juan, and not really about the child story, but because he does talk about like cancel culture, and I think specifically he kind of mocks the absurdity of acceptance. Like he's like, everything has to be safe. I watched a black guy with an Asian lady, and they had squirrel for kids, and everyone's like, it's fine.
Yes, everything's interracial now.
Yeah, and I think, and I just fucked it up, so I apologize. But I think like he was making a mockery of just like, okay, man, we can't have what we would appear to be normal, and I mean, normal runs the gamut, and I realize that like even by saying that, I sound like I'm some fascist pig, like, but
I mean, he segues into that material by talking about how white men are outraged and white men are victims, and then he brought up the Capitol riots, and then he says, he's like, what, why are they so mad? It's because they're not in commercials on TV anymore. I was like, and then he goes into like, neither are black people. It's always a mixed race couple that's in commercials.
Yeah, and it's true. It is true. It's very funny. But I think I felt like he was making a larger statement about like the absurdity just of like, yeah, man, this, you see these two rocks on the ground. One of these rocks is a spaceman. The other rock is invented a wheel, and we respect, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he was just making a statement about just all the things that we kind of go, yeah, all right, fine. That's cool.
Now, how many people,
as great as a lot of these premises were, and how I don't know, touchy a lot of these subjects are, I feel like he did pull a lot of his punches.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, and I was going to ask you guys about this because, like, were you guys really kind of keyed into the crowd? Were you listening to the crowd as he was kind of telling his jokes?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like during the majority of his set, the crowd loved it. There were some particular like pieces of the his sketch, his bits that like the crowd was like kind of and one of those things was when he was mentioning how like if his dad had come home as a woman, like his family was gonna freak the fuck out because that's just not the way they roll, right? And he does his little dance on stage, and I don't know if you were watching at the time or you were paying close enough attention to it, but he does a little jig on stage, like, all right, I'm gonna dance around this thing a little bit because it didn't land the way I thought it was gonna land, and I don't know if he had like more material, but and Jay, maybe you can fill me in on this or fill us in on this, which is like, if you're on stage and some of the things you're doing aren't landing, like, do you just move on to your set? Like, when you build a set for something like this, do you just stick to the material because that's your hour, or what's the deal?
I mean, it depends. Like, for me, if a joke doesn't land, I just kind of like move on. Like, I don't dwell on the bomb of a joke. You just kind of like play it off or try to be funny off of the fact that a joke didn't land,
Okay, because again, I think at that point he started to pull some of his punches on particular issues, and specific transphobia and homophobia, and even on the abortion bit, which, like, again, it's probably one of my favorite jokes in the entire thing, because it was very blunt and plain spoken, and that's another area where I think like the crowd, he lost a little bit of the crowd, where like he's like, I think you should be able to kill babies up until the age of 4. They're like, oh, okay, all right. Like, whoa, what the fuck?
I felt the crowd was uneasy when he was talking about like the abortions, the abortion stuff, especially. I think the crowd was really uneasy. But like, there's a lot of stuff that he kind of went into that he kind of had to like soften the blow of the premise a little bit before he actually landed some of these punchlines. Like you said, when he started talking about like if his dad became a woman, that like he would be okay with it, like the Kardashians.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it would not be like the first season.
Yeah. It's
didn't his dad joke come after the whole Kardashian joke?
Yeah.
It did. It came on the heels of it, because he was mentioning how like, oh, I thought it was beautiful how the family just accepted Caitlyn Jenner. This is my family. I'm not saying we wouldn't have accepted my dad, but it would have been the first season.
He said Caitlyn Jenner was like the Statue of Liberty. Like, give me your huddled masses a week.
Yeah. And that's another one, because you also have to remember, like, as a part of that joke, he goes, my family wouldn't accept it. I would, because I'm an artist and I understand, but my brothers, they drive trucks, and they, he started kind of throwing all these stereotypes about what you would assume the machismo man,
4x4.
Yeah. Who'd be like, I'm not going to do this. But here's the thing. That's a very real thing in the Black community. It's like, I got my kids here. What, you want me to come here and do what? Nah, man, whatever. Like, so it's very funny that I found it hilarious, because I could see this playing out, and I think I talked about this on the show before, and if I haven't, like it's a thing that happens in the Black community, like there's sometimes people just aren't openly gay or lesbian or bisexual or whatever. They have their friend that comes over, and that's their friend. They're always with them. Like, oh, they must be good fucking friends, until you grow up and kind of realize, oh, okay, I see what's going on there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's a thing. And so it's just again, to Jay's point, I think he pulls some of his punches, kind of realizing like, okay, all right, I'm losing the crowd a little bit here. I'm losing the crowd a little bit here. And even with the abortion stuff, I think just his plain spokenness about it. It's very cringy, but it's very real words. And again, it's tied in with some personal experiences, right? Because he like
allegedly
Jay, you mentioned, well, allegedly, but I mean, he basically made it known. He's like, I'm divorced and I'm out there fucking, and and if anyone paid for more abortions out there, then it's me, right? Like,
I have a punch card.
yeah. Again, he's making light of it, but and I think that's when he starts to win the crowd back, because it's not so much about like the abortion piece as much as it is about him being, fucking reckless with his dick, I guess. But do you guys? So I guess that brings my next question. Like, how much of this, Joe, do you think is truth versus what he made for the show in order to make it entertaining? Do you think like, you think that a lot of this was truth? Like, he just went out there and just told the truth about a bunch of stuff?
I think the underlying message of what he was like joking about is true. Like the when he jokes about all the like the cancel culture stuff, and like there's a little bit about social media. Like those are insightful jokes where he has an underlying message about the topic that he's talking about,
Yeah, Sean, he really doesn't have a punch card to an abortion.
It's speaking of the social media stuff though, he there are two things that he said. There's two things that he said. He was like, the new addiction is attention. But which I think we all know that, but he said it out on the stage. But the second thing he said is a hospital full of people with paper cuts,
Oh yeah. That was pretty funny.
It was great. It's a great line. I think it encapsulates a lot of, and it could be a generational feeling, right? There's probably some Gen Z or Gen Alpha guy who's like, he has no idea what he's talking about. My page is real. Meanwhile, like, you're fine. Just walk it off.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Rock is a straight male in his mid-50s, and he has viewpoints that most Gen Zers and millennials don't understand.
Yeah, and so, he says that, and I go, God damn, man, that's right on the fucking nose. It's like, because it's one of the ways to get attention is to be a victim. He's not, he didn't victim blame, because he's like, there's some real people out there who have real issues. But there's a lot of people in the emergency room with paper cuts, and they're all demanding the same level of attention, And again, it's just, I just thought it was very smart, I thought the special in and of itself was very smart. Is there any part of the commentaries you guys wholly agree with or wholly disagree with? You're like, I don't know why the fuck he even said that.
I mean, I agree with a lot of the things that he was trying to say in his jokes. I mean, I thought the whole show was very entertaining, Yeah,
I know. So did I. Juan, how about you?
I agree. I think I told you I don't like watching comedy specials that much.
But I mean, I honestly think that the special is going to be scrutinized.
Oh yeah.
I don't think people are going to think it's his best because of the topics that he chose to talk about.
Oh.
Well, yeah, the topics that he chose to talk about, I don't think people are going to be on board. It's going to be like the whole Dave Chappelle thing,
yeah, but Dave Chappelle didn't tippy-toe around the tulips. Dave Chappelle took the fucking sword and cape and fucked the bull in the ass.
Hold on. I don't think so. I think I think he was direct, but I also think that Dave Chappelle did a better job of articulating kind of the issue, the observation of the issue, and then making light of those two things, right? It's like he sees cancel culture, he understands it's a thing, and like you realize this is crazy, right? Because of blah 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 blah, and then like everyone laughs about it or whatever. I think Chris Rock kind of went in there like a bull in a china shop and was like, killing babies, and you know what I mean? Where like,
A, that was a horrible Chris Rock impersonation, and B, I think he was the bull in the china shop, walked in and said, I'm here, but then tippy-toed around the aisles by knocking down like one or two china plates here and there. But I don't think he caused as much chaos as Dave Chappelle does. And by chaos, I mean didn't get people's arms up in the air with cancel culture as much as Dave.
No, but I do think that Chris Rock's observations were
true,
like laser focused.
Yeah,
sure. Like there were more observations in there than kind of jokes. Like,
yeah, but the observations were people laughed at them because they know they're true, and it was like, yeah, it's funny because we're not going to do shit about it.
Well, I mean, because you look at like Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones, right? And he tackled cancel culture by he did an impression, and he wanted the audience to guess this impression, and he was like, I'm gonna find something that you said 10 years ago, and then you're gonna be done and finished. And then he asked the audience, who is that? Who is that? And then everyone was like, the government. And he was like, that's you.
yeah. Yeah.
That is you. Like he was making fun of them, like to their faces. You know, and they still laughed at it.
It's true.
You know, like
it's
insane. It's insane. But like the way that Chris Rock tackled cancel culture, it was very insightful. Like those points that he made about social media and attention, that it's very insightful.
No,
you know?
I think just his the story that he tells about his friend Fred, that alone was like the most insightful piece. Like that is true. It resonates because there's a person that I had worked with that went to a new job, and when I asked them, hey, how is that? They said the exact same shit that fucking Chris Rock said, and I'm like, what the fuck? I think I'm just an old dog, and
well, I think like the point he's trying to make is like these are things that people are getting trained to say.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that. They are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Pretty soon, everybody's going to be wearing fucking white jumpsuits and looking for Zebu.
What? Well, no, you're fine.
This shit like pisses me off. It
but
really
no,
does.
I think people are being trained to say this because if your workplace isn't a safe place where you feel seen and heard, it's a toxic work environment. And I mean. And I'll speak for myself, and I'll say that I've been in places where people have been seen and heard, but the work environment is still really fucking toxic.
I have to. You said the key word right there, toxic. That is a word that has grown in popularity in the last couple of years. What people deem toxic nowadays, I used to deem as that's what made me tough. In fact, didn't fucking Rock say that shit? Like,
no, you're absolutely right. Like it's a whole new perspective on how you're supposed to deal with certain things.
Like before, it was like you got yelled at. Okay, I'm going to do better so I don't have to get yelled at again. Now it's like, oh my God, he's so toxic. I don't feel safe. I'm going to go to HR. And that's why this shit resonated with from Chris Rock's set. And just his entire thing really like sunk in with me because there's a lot of truth. And I thought he was classy by not attacking it directly, but still bringing enough light to it.
Okay. So Juan, you said like he brings a lot of truth. And here's the thing, he always brings a lot of truth to his specials. Like, and they're always really sharp observations about the things he's either gone through or have gone or going through, things that the world are going through. Like in this special, he mentions how Lululemon is selling $100 yoga pants. So and
$20. I want some $20 racist pants.
I was going to ask if you wanted some, but the thing is, that's not the first time he's said that, like, that hate in America is still going on, and America just hates the poor. He said it in his previous special. It just wasn't the same joke, right? It's the same thing rephrased. He's always made observations like that. The black people in N-words observation, that's another sharp observation of Chris Rock.
There was one joke he said in this special where you could hear the audience. They got really they felt the cringe. They felt the cringe on it because he said the United States is worse than the Ukraine right now.
Oh yeah.
And then people were like, "Whoa," you know. But he said that Ukraine is united and the United States is divided.
Yep.
And he said that if Russia came by and tried to take the United States, half of us would go, let's hear them out. Like
Yes. I do remember that. And I go, He's not fucking wrong. He's
No,
not
he's
wrong.
not wrong. He's not wrong.
No. I hate to say this, but no. Like the stuff that you saw happen in the Ukraine, where like everybody united and fought, and I could see people here in the U.S. going, I'm more of a pacifist. How do you say hello in Russian?
Yeah, I know that's exactly what he's saying though. Like there's
That's why I fucking agree with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, again, I thought, the special was great. I thought it was, so I guess my question, is he canceled after this? Is he going to be,
No.
No. And then can we talk about the last 10 minutes of the special just for a little?
Yeah.
Which I thought was the classiest shit, because he called Will Smith a bitch without calling him a bitch directly.
All right. So as I looked up, I only looked up, like, I tried to look up articles of what the internet was saying about the special, about the other inflammatory jokes that might have been, that I was like, oh man, there has to be something about this abortion thing, something about this transphobia thing, something about,
It's all about Will Smith, man.
But it's all about Will Smith, it's all about the 10 minutes he did. All about the 10 minutes.
But it wasn't the 10 minutes. Like, he had dropped jokes about that before that. He did like running.
He did two.
He did reverse running jokes.
Yeah, he did two angry rapper jokes, and we're kind of. I assume that was it. That was like the most we would get about it, because, like, I didn't.
He had been radio silent all this time.
Yeah, he had been the entire time. But do you think that 10 minutes Will bit, that I don't think the special needed at all? The special was great with or without it, but do you think that it overshadowed everything else that he had just talked about?
Yes. Yes.
I agree. I absolutely fucking agree.
Because in like 10, 15, 20 years, like, people would have to look up the incident that he was talking about if they went back and watched his special,
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, the headline, over a year later, Chris Rock breaks silence, blah, blah, blah. Will Smith, Chris finally talks about. I was just like, fuck, man. You know what bombshell he dropped on me during this entire special, and you guys are gonna judge the shit out of me for it. But that Meghan Markle was black. No, Meghan Markle was black. That's what I learned in this special that I didn't know before I watched it.
Wait, is she black?
Yeah.
The one that married Prince Harry is black?
Yes.
I thought she was white, just a darker skin white, like me.
No, she's light-skinned black.
Yeah.
So that's what he meant with that she won the light skin law. Now that's funny now.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Because, okay, so, like, again, he said lots of inflammatory things. He called the English the original racist. They invented, and I mean, these are all true statements, right? But I just mean, like, he said so much other stuff in this entire special, only to have it relegated to the last 10 minutes where he basically just says, yeah, a thing happened to me. It was a piece of shit, like, to a guy that I thought was my friend that we got along with. And yeah, it's a piece of shit. Fuck it, but basically media trashed him for me. I didn't have to. But let's talk about it a little bit right now.
Here's the thing. I still see the good side that you guys see of the special, and you guys are going to talk shit about this later on, but it provides closure for me. I've been expecting the talk to happen, and now that it happened, I'm fine. And I even respect him even more because he did it in a funny, classy way, in my opinion. He called Will Smith a bitch, not once, but several times, not in a direct way of saying, hey, Will Smith, you're a bitch, but called him a bitch in a way that he kept on repeating it. And I thought it was funny.
I mean, it was funny. It's just like, that's the thing. The thing is, he had to talk about it. He had to.
Because of people like me.
Well, yeah. I mean, and he's smart to make it his closer.
So did you guys, I guess because people would have checked out the rest of the thing. But so you expected him to talk about Will Smith in this entire thing?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because he's kept quiet all this fucking time. His brother talked about it before him. Everybody in the world has talked about it before him. Other comedians talked about it. It is his fucking right to talk about it.
Yes, but I guess that's my point, is that he's been quiet for a year. Over a year, right? I think we're coming up on whatever award show it was.
That we know of. How do we know that he hasn't been doing this fucking set last 10 minutes? and the Laugh Factory comedy store. It just
No, he has.
Yeah.
I mean, this is written material that he's been working on, and it's probably been his closer.
so
Because he fucks up the joke. He admits to fucking up the joke at the end. So it's written material that it's specifically worded in a way that there's a punchline at the end.
He's trying to recall, he's using Will's movies, he's trying to recall, he's playing comedy off of itself. And I don't know. I just feel like for me, when we get to this point, I'm like, oh, I guess we're going to talk about it. Because for me, I thought like there were going to be zero mentions of it. And then he mentions like, oh, I don't need any more angry rappers. Okay. All right. I get it.
what do you call him? Shook Will or
Shook Smith?
Shook Smith. There you
Yeah,
go.
Suge Smith, referring to Suge Knight. You know who Suge Knight is?
Yes, Tupac, motherfucker.
No, he wasn't Tupac, Juan.
Biggie, but he's the one that killed Tupac. You dumb motherfucker.
You know what? Okay.
Allegedly.
But he's not going to come for you, Juan. Trust me. But
you don't know that.
But anyway, so then he gets another, I don't need another mad rapper at me joke talking about Snoop Dogg, and how much he sold out,
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to talk about it further than those two little jabs, okay, yeah. Because, and I think we talked about this, Jay, which was that there was... that I think like he didn't say anything after a year because he had talked about it obviously amongst his group, and obviously he's been writing material on it. But like I feel like for him to bring it out at this part in the special at all, it was kind of like, okay, cool, I'm glad we're talking about it, but like I really don't care anymore.
Do you think it would have been better to do it at the beginning of the special?
No.
Hell no.
No. Because I think people would have checked out. Like, oh man, you hear that? They would have. It was just whispering in the crowd the whole time. I feel like, yeah, Jay's right. Better that it's at the end, but the special was fine without it. Didn't need it. I mean, having it didn't elevate or lower the special at all. It just was like a thing. It was like you ever go to the DVD extras and you see like a really cool like DVD featurette. That's what this was for me. And I was like, I would have preferred to gotten the extended version of this, and then like because I feel like he could have wrapped up that don't fight in front of white people thing and any one of the other like race jokes he told throughout the special.
No, he had to get this particular material out. He needed to put it in there somewhere, because when he tries to do stand up after, he won't be able to move on, because he didn't talk about it in his last special. So if he were to move on with new material, he has to get that out of the way, put it to bed, and then move on.
I see. And that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, I thought the special was great, and it was fun talking about it with you guys. It was a good special.
I thought it was great.
I have to say it is the first special I've seen from beginning to end in a long, long time.
Really?
Yeah. No,
That's not true. You're a lying sack of shit because did you not watch the Dave Chappelle specials?
Not completely.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Well, Juan, do you know what time it is?
Are we doing a gauntlet Peter moment? What are we doing?
Well, Juan, because I had forgotten that this was an actual episode, I didn't book Peter. It's time for the gauntlet, Juan. It's time for the gauntlet.
What kind of gauntlet is it this season?
Oh, hold on. I have music now for the gauntlet. You ready?
It's time to do.
I got new music for the gauntlet. I took some time and made some gauntlet music, but Juan, I made new music.
Did you make it, or did the gauntlet master Ozzy make it?
No, it was me. But so this season's gauntlet is video games at Jay's request. But it does come with a disclaimer from the Gauntlet Master General, and here it is.
Hello, INCYCSHOW. As requested, this season's gauntlet features video game music tracks with a slightly modified format. The main game features 30 tracks from across video game history. Only one song per franchise or series. For example, the series of Super Mario games, only one is included. Also, your answer should be the game the music track was originally featured in. So an answer of Super Smash Bros. Is not accepted, unless the song was originally featured in Super Smash Bros. In addition, After the main answer is revealed, the player whose turn it is will have an opportunity for 1 bonus point. The pity round features video game sound effects of varying lengths and only worth 3 points. Sound effects may or may not be from games that are part of the main 30 music tracks. Good luck.
That was the longest fucking intro ever. 1. 2, I wanted to say fuck you, but since he actually laid down the rules so eloquently, thank you. But still, fuck you.
Thanks, Ozzy.
Yeah. Alrighty. So Juan, he even made a pity fuck folder.
Did he really?
He did.
Dude, he's going to be added to my Christmas card list.
Yeah. So since Juan, I know you're going to do the worst in this, and
I am.
You get to go first.
Fuck you.
Now there are 30 tracks in here, right? One for all 10 shows, and then there's 30 pity tracks. So Juan, you get to choose from this.
Can I just go straight to the pity track?
Dipshit. So here we are. Juan, you get to pick from the list. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, 1 through 30, man. Pick your poison.
30.
Okay, here we go. Track number 30 for how long, Juan?
Let's do 3 seconds.
3 seconds. So you're already going to start off with less points, huh?
That's what your mom said, but yes, go ahead.
Here it is. Did we all hear that?
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle. Jay, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Okay. I disagree too. I think that it's I don't know, Donkey Kong probably, or Diddy Kong.
I agree.
I want to say
you fucking dipshit. Is that how it works?
I want to say it's Donkey Kong Country.
You have to say, according to Ozzy, you have to say the specific fucking game, asshole.
Well, yeah, that is a specific fucking game, asshole. And I think he said you get
No, it's Donkey Kong Country 64.
There was no Donkey Kong Country 64. But
It came out in 64, fucker.
I want to say it's either Donkey Kong Country Returns or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm going to go with Returns.
I'm going to go with Donkey Kong Country because I didn't play either one of those 2 games.
It was a great fucking game, dude.
And Juan, I just know you got the wrong answer, so there's that. And
what did I say?
George of the Jungle.
Yeah, this is video games, Juan. Video games, and
I'm sure there was a fucking George of the Jungle video game.
And here we go. The answer is Halo. The answer is the game is Halo.
Fuck you, Ozzy.
Here's the thing. I've only played 1 Halo game, so
yeah, me too. And I didn't like it.
Oh,
I played 0,
and I wouldn't even know what the full title is. There's an extra point here for a full title. So Halo Combat Evolved. That would be the full title of the game. Man, that's this is just how hard the gauntlet's gonna be. So Juan, thanks, man. All right, Jay, it's on you now. So you got tracks 1 through 29 now because Juan picked number 30.
13 for 3 seconds.
13.
No, 13 for 1 second.
Look at this guy, man. He is he's out for blood already. We just started.
Why?
I'll do fuck you. That's why. All right, 13 for 1 second. Here we go.
I
can play it again or I can extend the length. I have no clue what this is.
It's Marvel versus Capcom.
He's right. I agree.
I disagree. I'm going to say that this is Crazy Taxi. All right. You ready for the game?
I think it's Marvel versus Capcom 2.
That's crazy. If this is correct, it's gonna be fucking nuts. But I think it's Crazy Taxi.
I think Jay knows his shit.
All right, and the answer is Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Fuck you, Sean. Fuck
no fucking way.
Suck it, motherfucker.
Well, fuck, dude. All right, for a bonus point. He has a question here: is how many playable characters are there in Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Oh, he knows his shit. Fuck you. Go,
in
Jay.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I want to say 30.
All right, and you get an extra point if that's the case. Hold on here. There were 56 playable characters.
Fuck
in
you,
Marvel vs.
Jay.
Capcom 2. It's okay. I mean, I
lost respect for you.
He still spanked us.
He did. He knows his fucking video games, dude. He fucking knows his shit.
As we just learned. All right. Well, that makes it my turn. And Juan, in tradition, would you be so kind as to choose anything except track 30 and 13?
12.
So creative. All right. And just because I am an asshole and I don't know I'm getting myself into, I'm going to go for 1 second. So here we go. 12 for 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, no, fuck that noise. I'm gonna need 3 seconds on this one. All right, here we go. 12 or 3 seconds.
Fuck video games, dude.
I have no clue what this is. I'm like 70% sure that this is some kind of epic adventure probably made by Square Enix. So this is either Final Fantasy or Guilty Gear or Dragon Quest. But I'm going to go with Final Fantasy because
You're just making up names, though.
I disagree.
I disagree, too.
Okay, Juan, well, if you disagree, you have to have a fucking answer.
Tailspin, the true story of Baloo and Kid.
Go home.
I want to say it's Super Mario Galaxy.
I agree with Jay.
You can't. You already got the wrong answer. No, you already said it was Tailspin, you dipshit. All right. And the answer is...
I'm sure there was a Tailspin.
Super Smash Brothers. He was in the right... He was in the right fucking neighborhood. He was in the right neighborhood. But there's an extra point here. There's an extra point. So Super Smash Brothers full title. I don't know which Super Smash Brothers this is.
Wait,
what's the extra point?
The extra point is for the full title of the game.
Oh,
Smash Brothers Brawl.
I want to say,
or Smash Brothers Melee.
It's for me to guess. So
I just give you the answers.
I don't know. I was gonna go with Super Smash Brothers When Worlds Collide, but
no, fuck you! It came out in the GameCube, motherfucker. Oh, you dumb motherfucker.
Sure, I'll say Super Smash Brothers
Melee.
Brawl? Melee. I'm gonna trust you on this one, Juan, and let you give me a free point. This way you get the
fuck you. I fucked up on that one, but yeah, it might be Melee.
It might be mentally. Okay.
Melee.
I'm going to go with Super Smash Brothers Melee to trust Juan. And no, I should have gone with my instinct and said Super Smash Brothers Brawl, you stupid piece of shit. Fuck you, Juan.
I did love that game, though.
Well, hey. Well, Juan, you and I are in the fucking Zero Club, bro. We're in the Zero Club.
I've always been in the Zero Club, Sean.
Yeah. Oh, I know. 0 Inch Club. It's, I'm so sorry.
That's not what... That's not what your mom says.
That's exactly what she said. But that firmly puts us in the pity fuck. So Juan, you know what, Juan? You know what? Since you didn't get a chance to choose this gauntlet, I will give you the pity fuck this round. Does that sound amenable to you?
I don't need your pity fuck. Yes, I do. Go ahead. Oh, I pick a number. 7.
No, hold on. Dude, hold the fuck on.
7.
All right. Pity fuck number 7. And now remember, this is a sound, a video game sound. So an iconic sound from a video game. It may have been in a franchise we've already mentioned. So we've already talked about Smash Brothers. So it could be from Smash Brothers. We've talked about Marvel vs. Capcom and whatever I just got wrong. Or whatever you got wrong. Not George of the Jungle. What was it?
Halo.
So it could be from any one of those games.
This is so fucking complicated. Go.
Well, that's what your mom said. All right, so here we go, Juan. You ready for the pity fuck?
Yes.
Here it is.
What are my options again?
You have to guess.
You have to guess. What game was that sound from?
Donkey Kong, Halo, or Smash Brothers.
No. It can be just saying that it can be from any of those games, but once they have appeared, they will never appear again.
I'm confused.
So once it appears in the gauntlet, it will never appear in the gauntlet again. And once that same video game appears in the pity fuck, it will never appear again. So Street Fighter could be in there 2 times.
I would like to say, fuck you, Ozzy. Can you play that sound again? Meteor Prime?
I disagree.
I also disagree, but
I think I know what it is.
What is it?
This is for the steal? You want one extra fucking point?
Yeah, it's Street Fighter 2.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
No, he's right. He's right.
I know he's right.
He knows fucking
he knows fucking Street Fighter like the fucking anal warts he has.
No. I said it out loud. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to, but I was trying to give you an example. Oh God. Anyway. So Jay, I'll give Jay the extra pity point over here. All right, so Jay's gonna wipe. He's gonna use us to wipe his ass with this season. That's what I'm learning.
No, here's the thing. Out of the three of us, and I know you like video games, Cantley, but fucking Ko poops them out. He knows his fucking video games.
Ozzy, knowing how shitty we were gonna do with this, he put some extra.
No.
He put extra sounds in here, so I get to do a pity sound as well.
No, you don't, dude. We're done.
No.
Let's move on.
We both have 0 points, Juan.
I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair if Sean gets a try too.
No, fuck you.
Juan,
Why don't you guys could just...
I'm gonna do it so we can be done now, okay?
Yeah, just do it. Fuck it.
All right, so I'm choosing one of the extras that Ozzy put here, knowing that I would be shitty at this. So thanks, Ozzy. And
fuck you, Ozzy.
Here it is.
Oh, meteor prey.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I know this. I feel like Galaga's the wrong answer for this one. Absolutely the wrong fucking answer. I'm gonna listen to it again. But I know it's not the Mario shrinking sound. So I'm gonna go with
You're a dumb fuck.
I'm gonna say Galaga, but I know that's wrong.
I disagree. I know this one.
As well, Jay, you disagree. What do you think it is?
It's Mega Man.
I agree.
Oh my god.
I agree.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm done. It is Mega Man. Death sounds is what happens when Mega Man dies.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Oh, well, that is it for the gauntlet. Well, here's the thing, Juan. So you have 0 points.
That's because
And
fuck you.
I have 0 points. And Jay is in the lead with 7 fucking points. Not only did he answer his in 1 second, but he got your extra pity fuck and he took my pity fuck. He pity fucked the both of us. The gauntlet's over. Jay, congratulations for your win. And I have outro music too. And here it is.
Go beyond! Plus!
Dude, that's so epic.
Yeah, I know. I was I had need to find some epic music to end. That's it. It's over. Juan, I assume that you're done. We did the gauntlet.
I've been done, man.
Yeah,
I've been done.
So Juan, I'm glad you're done. What did you guys think of the Chris Rock special? Do you think that it was edgy? Think it was edgy? Do you think that Chris Rock is going to be canceled? Do you think that he needed the Will Smith bit in the end? Tell us. We want to know. Juan, please tell them so that we can go.
I love you.
I've never seen Juan at a loss for words like this. So, guys, don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. We're on all the social medias. Our handle is at INCYCSHOW, basically on everything. You can visit our website now at INCYCSHOW.com. You can email us at INCYCSHOW@gmail.com. And, please feel encouraged to leave us a voicemail on anchor.fm/INCYCShow.com. Lastly, we have merch. We're in partnership with LindaMyra.com. Juan actually got someone to get a shirt. Good for him. Good for him. And with that said, they have other cool things on their website as well. You can visit LindaMyra.com to see them. With that said, Jay, have a good night. Thank you for fucking putting the screws to my balls on this gauntlet. And Juan, please stop. Please stop. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good.
Thank you, Branson.
night.